It's Daniel Murphy, and today I just want to talk about like the aesthetics of a landscape and how that relates to those of us that are in the tree business. In the tree business, we're oftentimes going to be asked, "What should I do here? What do you think?" And one of the things I like to do is it's nice to be able to see the house from the street, and yet at the same time, you also don't want it to be too boxy. And so if you look at the landscaping beds up there, right? You'll see that probably those rhodies that have the purple flowers on the right, they're a little too high. They're blocking those windows on that dormer side of the house there, the right side of the house. And the rest of that bushes there, they look a little bit like just someone's been whacking out away with them with the hedge trimmer. So they're looking a little bit misshapen, like too boxy. It's not a formal English garden, that's your front yard. So they don't look natural. Now, then, of course, you got this dead thing. That's a pretty easy call. Let's cut the dead tree down. But then let's look over here. And they've got these blue spruces, which are all dead down here. And this is just all, it's not the right place for the spruces. Like, why would you put the spruces out there by the street? Maybe you put one to hide the telephone pole. But do you need 3 or 4 spruce trees out here? What's it doing for the property? You know, it's basically making it look like the Addams family. You know, it's cutting off the view of the front of the house, which should be a nice view, should be a nice aesthetic. And then you're looking at all these like dead branches. It just looks terrible. So I don't like the idea of putting spruce in along the front border anyhow. I like a nice open front of the house. The other thing, which is not an issue here, but sometimes people have a nice open front yard and then they'll put a tree right in front of the front door. I like to put a tree off to the right or the left, but not right in front of the front door. So then they've got, you know, some nice Norway spruces here, which are gorgeous trees and that are out by the driveway. Now they're somewhat dysfunctional because they're going to constantly be growing over the driveway. They're going to have to be trimmed back. They're going to hang low in the snowstorms, whatever. But then they've got actually a fairly nice looking bed right here. So they got the little step wall here, nice stonework there, and then they've got a couple of rhodies. Now, just as far as the rhodies go, you see how the red and the purple, they kind of, it'd be better to have them all one. Or if you do, you know, use a color, you know, like do all red and put one white in there, or like that. I mean, white you can kind of get away with, but I don't like mixing and matching colors, purples and reds like this. It should either been all red or all purple. Anyhow, then you can see what's going on. It's a little busy back there, but I mean, they got a weeping cherry and a Jap maple that are creating a bridge over the top of the driveway. I mean, not bad, but this is why I made the video in the first place. Now we come down the street here, the neighbor's house, and what's he looking like? Oh my God. What did he do here? He doesn't have a single plant in the front of his house. He's got a rock. And then there is nothing there. He's got pickup trucks now and four-wheelers. That's how he decides to present himself to the world. So let's just look at the house itself. It's not a bad looking house. But the thing that's unattractive to the eye is that it's like too boxy when it just goes into the ground with all those harsh lines. So if there is some landscape plantings, like on that left corner of the house there, they were to put a nice little holly or a magnolia or a Japanese maple or something a little taller, and then you could have like different kind of levels that could cover that lower area of the stone wall. Maybe leave the windows on those lower windows open, but cover that stone wall area on the right by the garage there, and put something up there. You know, put some magnolias, some rhododendrons, some yews, whatever. Something that's going to be just a little something to soften those hard lines, those hard edges. That's what landscape plants are for. So I hope you guys can see just how unappealing that is, and it's not it doesn't work on the eye. Now let's take a look at this one. And what's he got here? He's got the two, looks like he's got 2 little cherries or ornamental trees there on the left side of the house. Let's cover the left side. He's got an open front yard there, and then he has a little split cut leaf Japanese maple, and then he's a little barren there. That cut leaf Japanese maple isn't bad, but he's a little barren. Let me just come in a little bit and take a look at that. So, I mean, he could use a little more going on the left side there, but altogether, I mean, he's got at least something there to soften the feel of that house. It's not a total box going into the ground. And then he's got these 3 pin oaks out here by the street, which, again, I don't really like trees planted along the street like this. This is not appealing to the eye. And then, of course, he's got that birch in the front yard. So if you look at it from here, birch is kind of nice. And then he's got a plant out there that is to the right side by the driveway. And he's just a little barren on the left side there. And I mean, the pin oaks are here. I'm not telling you to cut the trees down, but I wouldn't have planted them. Or if I did, I would have planted 1, not 3. Anyhow, let's go take a look at the next property since we're just keeping on driving here. All right, this guy decided to throw corn in his front yard. Or whatever that is. That's a garden up there. And then he's got that one tree, looks like a locust out front. He's got a couple of spruce trees here. And lots of wide open ground. But look at the landscape on the foundation plantings. I mean, it's not perfect, but I like the idea, the concepts here. He's got the bigger shrub on the left side, holding, kind of softening that corner, and then he's got different sizes. He's got a taller shrub as you're going from left to right, a taller shrub between the windows there, so it's not blocking the windows. Then he's got a shorter shrub outside the window there, and then he's got some different sized. It's kind of a staggered size to the different shrubs out in front of by the front door there and going to the right, and different. It's not a bad idea to have different colors of green, different textures. Of course, if you can get some flowering plants out there, that's all nice too. So, and then he's got another taller tree on the right side here to soften that right corner of the house. That locust out front is a little close to the house for my taste, but I'm not complaining too much. So let's see what he's got over here. So you can see he's got that other, whatever that is, some type of ornamental tree by the corner of the garage there that kind of softens that side of the house there by the chimney. I don't necessarily like the chimney out on the front of the house there. That just doesn't seem too kosher. And then this guy here, not the mailbox, but this thing here, it's just about a dead spruce. Like, well, they're all getting hammered because of all the humidity now. And then he's got a couple stumps in the front yard that he decided to leave. Japanese maple on the left side. Again, that softens that left side of the edge of the house. It doesn't look quite so bad with the shrub next to it. And then he's got a few foundation plantings and got something growing up the brick face there. I mean, I don't necessarily, that's the nicest aesthetic for that way it's trimmed right now, because it looks like it's kind of blocking the window, and it just looks like a couple blobs of green up there. But I like the idea. And he's got enough along the foundation plantings there to kind of soften the edge and the feel of the house. So open front yard, privacy in the backyard, soften the edges of the house by putting a nice foundation planting in. These are the concepts that are nice to promote here. And we'll just do the last house, okay? Weeping willow in the front yard, young tree. They were probably trying to get something going fairly quickly there. It's, pretty sizable tree. And I don't like the weeping willow in the front yard, but I like it now. But that thing is just going to get monstrous so quickly and be a maintenance issue, so I wouldn't recommend it. Then he's got the 2 southern magnolias on either side of the house there, and see what a nice feel that is. And he's trying to make that thing with the pillars look somewhat like a southern mansion, and he did a fairly decent job of it. And then personally, it's not my thing, like that formal boxwood hedge or whatever that is. I mean, I don't go for that in the front yard. Maybe if you have do have a formal garden, use that, but not there. Then he's got a little dogwood over on the right hand side and some azaleas, so I mean, everybody's trying their best, I guess. But it's nice to have a nice open front yard like this and a good feel to it. But I mean, I like the southern magnolias, that's for sure. All right, I kind of feel like I've been rambling. Let me know if you thought this was worth watching or not, because it's something new. I never did something like this before. Thank you, guys. I just want to wish you all well this time right now. Hope you all are doing well. God bless you.